For my doing more of what works for me today, I really allowed myself to just go with the flow of what I was feeling. I didn't try to force myself to do certain things. I recognized when I was not quite connecting with my task, and I gave myself an opportunity to either lay down and do some higher brain living exercises, or to do something to reset my outlook on it, or just sort of step back and took a breather, and I asked my heart many times, like, heart, what do you want to do? And I felt kind of, and I can feel like a yes no response around my heart area that can kind of keep me guided when I feel like I'm not sure where to go next. And because of that, while I didn't have like big, no, today wasn't like, there wasn't anything extraordinary that occurred today. It was just a kind of a humdrum day in a sense, because nothing like spectacular happened. But when I look at the things I did today, and when I look at how good I was able to feel most of the day, and when I look at some of the insights I picked up on and hadn't discovered, it was just like a very much like, if this is my average day, then I will easily find success with just continuing to turn out these sorts of days. And I know that I guess these sorts of days aren't really what light my fire. There were some great things that lit my fire today, like even watching Thank You for Smoking. After last night's post from 3 to 5, I watched that, and I was super excited to watch it, and I've seen it a couple 3 times, and so I know most of what's happening, and I could just enjoy it and just be excited to watch it, and it was such a simple thing, yet it gave me such pleasure. Such a simple thing, yet I derived such pleasure from it. And it wasn't escapism. It was just like, yeah, you know what? My mind thought of a scene while I was eating food, and I was just like, I want to watch that. You know what? I'm going to allow myself to watch it, and I did, and it was great. And that's kind of how most of the day went. I was just like, if I didn't know where to go, I kind of found something else, and I explored different avenues, and I did things in a lot of different areas. And while I never really hit some kind of groove where I was just like, I had some ahas. I probably had like half a dozen ahas, or at least 2 or 3 that I can remember right now. And I mean, Jesus, those ahas have to be adding up exponentially. And to think that I could have 2 or 3 aha moments at least in a day, in a 24-hour period, and think that was mediocre. 2 to 3 aha moments, before. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't want to compare myself to like an average person and project into that, but I'm going to. So I mean, like how many aha moments does an average person have during a month? Like 2 to 3 a month is probably an average aha for somebody who's just sort of doing the same thing day in and day out. And I'm doing that in a mediocre day for me. Is 2 to 3 aha moments. There's probably a couple more that I forgot about. And so it's just like, wow, I'm really doing a lot of things right. And that's what's working for me. That's what's working for me, is being able to acknowledge that and just go with the flow. And I'm really starting to pick up momentum, I think. Because if this is a day that was kind of a down day for me, or kind of a mediocre day, then what the hell am I going to do with my next breakout day? I mean, what huge thing might come through me? And these things are just, they got to be adding up, because you can't just keep on aha. You can't just have all these breakthroughs without some of that evidence seeping through into your reality. And more that evidence is seeping through. And there's going to come to a little bit of a tipping point, where it's like, okay, now it's like the flip switched. The switch has flipped, and all those ahas have kind of breached the surface, and they're now visible, and I can look down and I can see one, and by seeing that one aha, it's like the tip of the iceberg. I can see them all coming through, and I can see just jutting up, and so there's just this tremendous acknowledgement on my part right now of Yes, I'm heading in the right direction. And no, nothing else matters. It's just I'm doing everything I need to do. It's all good.